Grandma was always a safe place, and you got plenty of Vickies as well. With my brother Pete and Steve, we spent many weekends staying there when we were down in Perth attending school. Like Kitty, we recall the many takeaway treats on Friday nights, either fish or chips or Kentucky Fried, and it was a big treat to us then. I think this is where Pete developed his fetish for bacon eggs, which Grandma used to always go and make him in the mornings. This was also the start of contract labour, where Kitty and Sam were paid 1 cent for every moth they caught. Grandma supplied the nets. My brother, I think, grew moths in the next room with the mulberry leaves, and was mercy killed as the larva transferred the moths, so this contract soon finished, as they earned a lot more money in no time compared to Kitty and Sam. Tweedale's a fun place. The terraces to run around on, climbing on the roof upstairs where you're 15 metres off the ground, cricket on the lawn, the big mulberry tree to climb in, and the Swan River only a walk away. Judy and Ray lived around the corner in Ardross, and it was a common meeting place where everyone would meet at Tweedale Road. Even their dog Bindi would walk the 3 kilometres across Canning Highway any time of the day to be at Tweedale Road when the Varleys went out, and Grandma would look after Bindi. Tweedale was a safe place. Robbie Joan remembers whenever she was sick, she would stay at Grandma's, and would love it when Grandma would move her bed closer to hers and tickle her arm till she went to sleep. Steve and Mum spent a lot of time at Tweedale when Steve was having a number of operations, and it was just a caring environment which they would again bestow when they stayed. Jude Ray also stayed upstairs at Tweedale Road for some times. Always, there was a deck of cards on the table, and this affinity of playing bridge, I'm sure many of you would be familiar with, not just with Grandma, but obviously with her daughters now. There were some difficult years around this time, especially the Protto gang, and Grandma was such a pillar of strength when she would go to all the sports carnivals when their dad could not attend. Kitty recalls how fantastic support both Grandma and Granddad were for their dad Protto. Grandma was also seriously cool. How many grandmas would take their granddaughter onto a 3-week cruise for their 21st birthday and trying to set them up with someone? Kitty first-hand witnessed Grandma's liking for decent gin and tonic. How cool is a grandma at 90 years of age that goes and watches her grandson Jacko do kickboxing in Bowra for an evening? And that just happened just recently. She attended many of the Bakers basketball games and would really make an effort to see us all. Grandma and Granddad then moved to Shelley, and again the Christmas parties were as legendary as ever. They eventually moved to Craywood as Granddad's health began to fail. And after his passing, Grandma again began to party hard with Auntie Penny, who lived in from her unit in 91. They would fill every day with shopping, casino trips, talking and laughing. And the only person who wasn't laughing at the time was Alan Hicks, Grandma's accountant. Jude and Jill on 2 occasions had to plead with the authorities not to remove Auntie Penny and Grandma from their units. We even had to threaten to ban Grandma from the Christmas party if she did not behave. During this time, Grandma was only a stone's throw from the baker's house and was always included in their family dues. Jan and Clive also lived close by and were always caring for Grandma. My dad would often dart around and pick up Grandma and head off for a special fish dinner when Mum Jan went out, as fish was banned in our house. Grandma the person. Grandma was an avid reader and would often reread special poems and stories from her school days. She always remembered family birthdays and would always give normal presents than the weirdos from the Varleys and Prottos at Christmas. She followed the news and had a very strong opinion on the Ben Cousins matter, and of all things, followed the Poms in cricket. Finally, we recently had, in August, a celebration of Jan's 70th birthday. And it was a really special night, as we were all together, and amongst us all was Grandma, switched on to every joke and story, and again being cared by all her family members, and in many ways was the matriarch of her family. And we can see how this has been moulded as we have skimmed through the book today. Most importantly of all, we can see that there has been some difficult chapters in this book, but also there are so many chapters that we can remember and pass on to our families. The way she cared, laughed, her sharp wit, enjoyed life, and most of all loved her family. Even today, the closeness that I have with my cousins and aunties and uncles, and also my sons and their cousins and aunties and uncles, will continue as a legacy of our loving grandmother.